My music teacher colleague Diego Cardini was kind enough to write this post for Keynotes readers. Rhythm is something most piano learners struggle with, and percussionists are experts at rhythm, so who better to ask for exercises to help piano students develop their rhythmic skills? Understanding and feeling rhythms is something that many pianists struggle with when learning. It's completely understandable, as the piano is a very popular solo instrument. When playing the piano alone, you don't need to worry about fitting in with other band members and their instrumental parts. However, you do need to develop and improve your sense of rhythm to become a more complete musician. We're going to look at 5 rhythm exercises from a drummer's perspective that will help you with your rhythmic ability when playing the piano. First, why is it important to develop rhythm? Rhythm is what holds all music together. Every musician needs to have a good grasp of it in order to play with other musicians. It's very common for beginner pianists to learn to play and then fall short when joining a band or, let's say, a chamber music ensemble at a later stage because of rhythmic issues. So it's vital to develop rhythm as early as you can. Having a good sense of rhythm is more than just keeping in time with the song, though. It's also about internally feeling a pulse so that you feel more comfortable when playing and understanding how subdivisions work together. This first exercise will have you playing quarter notes and eighth note triplets. The goal is to feel the difference between the two subdivisions. The first bar establishes the base of a quarter note pulse, while the second bar brings in the triplets over that pulse. I will close the fall board and tap here. You could use a table if you'd like. And let's count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You can either tap these rhythms with your hands on a surface or play them as notes on the piano. When doing this exercise, start with playing the top note as your right hand and the bottom note as your left hand. Once you've done that for a while and are comfortable, switch your hands around so that your left hand is playing the triplets in the second bar. Let's give that a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. After both hands are comfortable with the exercise, try alternating your hands after every second bar. So, play triplets with your right hand in the first round, and then switch to your left hand in the second round without stopping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The next exercise is another one that will get you playing and feeling different subdivisions. We're going from 8th notes to 16th notes in this one. Start the exercise out with only using one hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. The 16th notes may be a bit tricky to bash out with a single hand, but it's good to develop dexterity and comfort when it comes to fast notes. Once you've done it a few times with one hand, switch over to the other hand. When both hands are comfortable, then it's time to mix them together. Alternating your hands comfortably is one of the most important factors in keeping steady rhythms. So you're going to be playing right and left in eighths and then the same in sixteenths. Let's give that a try. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. In drumming, this is called a single stroke roll. It's arguably the most important rudiment that every drummer learns to play. Try to see how fast you can play this exercise. Remember to always have control. If you're playing fast without control, it's not going to help you improve your rhythmic ability. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. This exercise is mixing two rhythms together to form a polyrhythm. The concept of polyrhythms may sound a bit scary at first, but exercises like this show that they can be fairly simple to begin with. This is especially true when only using two hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Like we did before, play the top note with your right hand and the bottom with your left. And once you get used to that, then switch the hands around for variety. Let's try. 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1. In this exercise, your one hand will be playing straight eighth notes while the other is playing syncopated sixteenths. If you isolate that hand, it will sound like it's playing a fun driving rhythm. Once you get the pattern down, it will be easy to play. So let me just play the left hand separately. 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1. Don't get discouraged if your hands get a bit confused at first. This exercise requires a bit more coordination than the previous ones. Exercise 4 is deceptively difficult. On the surface, it looks like you're simply tapping eighth note triplets. However, the goal is to play these triplets as a double stroke roll. A double stroke roll is when you play two right-hand strokes followed by two left-hand strokes. Let's try it. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. It's fairly simple and rudimentary to play if you're playing straight eighth notes. For example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's pretty basic. But it's a completely different story when you're modulating them to eighth note triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. The benefit of this exercise is that it will stretch your brain to think about a simple pattern in a different way. Once you have control over playing this exercise in triplets, you'll find that other triplet patterns won't be so difficult to feel internally and play. The best way to nail this exercise is to accent beat 1 every time. Doing that will ensure that you're on track and that you know when the pattern is starting again. The final exercise is a common rhythmic pattern that you'll find in many songs. The goal of this exercise is to play the pattern and internalize the rhythm. You can count the pattern out loud at first, but you need to eventually feel and play it without thinking. 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a 4 and a 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a 4 and a 1. The pattern has 16th note rests between a few of the notes. Work on making those as clear and precise as possible before playing the landing notes afterward. Remember that rests are just as important as notes in music. Having that thought in your mind will help you when it comes to playing rhythms. Once you tap this pattern out a few times on a surface, take it to the piano and try applying it to a chord progression. Going up and down the piano with this rhythm will add a bit of a challenge to it. Here's some tips for developing better rhythmic ability. First, write things down. If you're able to write notes out yourself, try writing rhythms down that you've heard in songs. Knowing how to notate a rhythm will give you a reinforced understanding of how that rhythm is meant to sound. If you can write something out comfortably, you'll undoubtedly be able to play it comfortably. The more you do this, the better you'll get at it. It's an underrated skill to have. Next, practice every day. This may be obvious, but there's a good reason that everyone will tell you this. The more you do something, the better you get at it. If you want to improve your rhythm on the piano, then you should set aside some time every day to work on your rhythmic ability. Going through all the exercises above will only take about 10 minutes. If you do rhythmic work for 10 minutes daily, the improvement you'll have after a few months will be massive. The power of practicing can never be overstated. Next, clap rhythms you can hear. Listening skills are just as important as rhythmic ones. You can combine these things together to improve your rhythm by clapping out rhythms that you hear from different songs. If you can hear a song and comfortably clap the rhythms you hear, then you'll easily be able to apply them when you're playing yourself. Many rhythms are quite easy to clap back, especially in songs that are straightforward. However, you should find songs that have challenging rhythms. Memorize those, and you'll be surprised at how much it will improve your internal sense of rhythm. Learn songs that have rhythmic emphasis. If you want to work on your rhythmic ability when playing the piano at the same time, you should learn to play songs that have more focus on rhythms than they do on melodies. Remember to continue working on your standard repertoire, though. You don't want to neglect playing melodies either. Finally, play chords. A final tip to improve your rhythmic ability is just to play chords on the piano. Take a few chord progressions and see how many rhythms you can play them in to spice up the song. Switch between straight subdivisions and then give some syncopated patterns a go. This is one of the most fun ways of developing better rhythm on the piano. Another way to increase your rhythmic ability on the piano is to learn to play a bit of drums. The great thing about drumming is that you don't need to worry about melodies or key signatures. Instead, you just need to focus on rhythms and coordination between your limbs. Playing around on a kit is a lot more fun than clapping your hands, so you might consider getting one. You could get an electronic drum kit since it's easier to set up, doesn't bother the neighbors, and generally sounds quite good. We'd only suggest getting an acoustic kit if you're passionate about learning to play the drums properly. Until then, working on all these exercises will undoubtedly help you improve your rhythmic ability on the piano.